Hello, my name is Grin, and this is my beard. The crumb I'm pulling out of my beard to talk about today is going to be about two bands that I've been a part of in Japan. The two bands that I've been a part of in Japan and how they came about. So the first band that I joined was called Sayaku no Bai, or The Worst Case Scenario. When we were the worst case scenario, that was awesome. We were kind of the worst case scenario. We were just a bunch of guys who liked making music and doing music together. And I wasn't even trying to be in a band. I had created a podcast called Gaijin Smash with a few friends of mine, and once a week we would get together and drink beer and talk about life in Japan and what it was like being in Japan. It was a great podcast. It was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of people that listened in and watched us. But it's just gets difficult getting everybody together to do it and setting it all up. And I think the biggest problem with that was the video editing, or the video camera that I had just wasn't good. It was, I mean, it's a good camera and everything, but the main problem was the audio didn't quite match up with the video, and I never figured out why. It would always be either a little bit too slow or a little bit too fast for the video, or the video would be a little bit too slow or a little bit too fast. I don't know which one it was, but they would, over time, the audio wouldn't match up with the video. And the reason why is because we had to record the audio separately from the video. We had to use good microphones and whatnot so you could hear everybody, and it made sense. But whenever I tried to mix the audio to the video, it would never ever match up, and I'd have to spend hours and hours, tweaking the audio here and there to get it to match up so that it didn't sound like this, and you could see our mouths matching the it looked like a looked like a kung fu movie. I kill you. So I I gave up doing that mostly because it took too long. And whenever you're doing like a long video, like the podcasts were about an hour long each, and 1 hour of video, if I could spend 8 hours mixing it and getting the sound right, and then something would fail, or the Adobe software would crash, and then I'd lose all my work and I'd have to start all over again. And it's just another 8 hours of messing with it. I gave up. And that's why I don't do any editing on these videos, because I don't want to deal with the hours and hours of that stuff. It's just too much. I don't have time for that. Nobody got time for that. So, but during that, one of the guys that was in the podcast, his name is Anders. He had his own band in the United States. Two different bands. One called Awful Lonely, and another one called, now I can't remember the other, Mud or something like that. No, I can't remember. I can't remember the two bands that he had. I only remember Awful Lonely, and he has a very peculiar kind of voice. And if you want to hear it, you can find them. You can find our music on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, and the name of the band is The Slow Claps. We changed our name from The Worst Case Scenario to The Slow Claps. Somebody else already had the name The Worst Case Scenario, or Worst Case Scenario. So we decided to change our names so that we don't clash with them. People are looking for us, then they're going to find us. So we are The Slow Claps. Some good music. I love it. I listen to the music all the time. It's our music, and it's fun. I wish we could have done better recordings Some of the recordings, I don't like the quality of the recording, but some of them are just perfect. So it's a hit or miss type of thing. Now, the reason why I joined that band is because one day while we were doing a podcast, we were doing the Gaijin Smash podcast. Anders walked up to me holding a bass guitar and he said, "You're in the band now, and you're our bassist." I'm like, I barely I tried playing guitar when I was like 15 or 14 or 15 and never really got into it. And I tried playing the guitar again here in Japan when I before I got married, and I have problems with my hand that it makes it really difficult to get the fingerings that I need to do. Specifically, this finger just does not want to play right. It snaps. It doesn't doesn't move smoothly. So doing these fingerings are really difficult for me. I can do it and I'm getting better at it, but it's still difficult. So, but bass is only 4 strings. It's a little bit easier, a little bit easier. And he was like, "Don't worry about it. I know you can't play, but you just do something simple. We'll just do simple stuff." And I did. I did really simple bass accompaniment for our music. And then over time, we got somebody, a Japanese bassist, and he took over my bass playing, and I went from bass to keyboard. So I was doing the keyboard parts, mostly just like ambience and stuff like that. I didn't have any solo parts or anything, just ambience, and that was good. Then we got an actual pianist who actually recently had to leave the band, couldn't do it anymore, and he was doing the piano parts. And I think now we've got another pianist doing it. Also, so we've got the 4 original members of the band, which is Anders, Eric, Tosk, he's Japanese, and me. So 3 of us are foreigners and 1 Japanese guy. I was playing the bass guitar. Anders was doing rhythm guitar and singing. It was basically his music. He wrote the music and sang it. And Eric was doing lead guitar, and Tosk is the drummer, and he is a fantastic drummer. I really like his drum is very tight and very very good drumming. Um, we've been doing it for years, and we've been doing concerts at various different locations. I mean, we have if you look up the slow claps, you can see some of our stuff. But if you look up Sayaku no Bai, which is in Japanese, that means the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario, Sayaku no Bai, the slow claps. If you search that stuff, you'll find all of our stuff, especially on YouTube. And we did that for a while, and I kept getting relegated to different tasks. Like I can play bass, but I'm not a bassist. I can play the piano, but I'm not a pianist. And it just kept going down. Eventually, I started doing percussion, and so I'm playing the congas and cowbell and things like that. And so I've kind of been relegated to the hype man. I love the music, and it's a lot of fun to do concerts, and I'm the other voice. Oh, so I'm also the one of the backup singers. So our most popular song, the beer song, you can hear me saying "off my" and stuff like that, and it beer 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 buy me a beer, and it's stuff like that. Um, it's good. I love the music, and it's a lot of fun to do. But it's not. I mean, it's my music. It's our music. But I wanted to make my own songs, and I wanted to have my own band where I could be the singer. And so I kind of fell into this other band where they came to my studio to use the studio for practice, or the bassist did. and we got to talking about music and whatnot, and he was wanted to use the studio, and he's like, yeah, well, we're kind of looking for a singer. And so I was like, well, I'll audition for joining, and let's do some music together. I auditioned, and they accepted me. They accepted me as the singer, and we were doing cover songs, uh, things like uh, Green Day. Uh, what else did we do? We did some Green Day songs. Well, we did a few different songs. The name of our band was Slope Town because Murakami is a slope town. Slope Town. So we called ourselves Slope Town. It was great because in that case we had the bassist, drummer, lead guitar, and me singing. And I didn't really play any instruments, and I have this rhythm problem. My rhythm problem is I don't have any rhythm. Like dancing and stuff like that. Uh, when we're playing our music and I'm bobbing my head to the music, and the bassist would be like, "Dude, your head bobbing is like weird." I don't know if it really is, but he said it was. So I was just trying to have fun and enjoy the music. Um, he was the bassist was the one who was making all the music. It was mostly his music, except for one song. Well, two songs, but only one song that we actually really focused on actually making. So I wrote two songs for our group, and he wrote all the other songs. The two songs I wrote was a song called "Go Fuck Yourself." It was great. Won't you please go fuck yourself? I wouldn't say that to anyone else. Only you are so special. Won't you please go fuck yourself? And it was a great song. It was funny, but it wasn't really what we were trying to go for at the time. So we put that one on the back burner, and I added another song that I had written years and years and years ago, but we had, pulled it out and redone it, and it's called "Send in the Clowns." "Send in the Clowns" is a little bit more moody, a little bit darker, so it matched the other songs that we were doing. Kind of it was like we were trying to do an album where it was like it's going from being a nobody that nobody really likes to becoming a professional uh, musician, professional singer, professional band, and that's what the bassist wanted. That's what the bassist wanted. He wanted us to be a professional band, and so it was really strict, and I had to really practice and practice and practice and practice. And being that I have kids and obligations with my business and stuff like that, I couldn't really put as much as effort into it as I think he wanted me to. And I bought the things that I needed to do what I needed to do, but I just didn't put enough time into it, I guess. I don't know. Plus, I think he felt like I was not capable of learning it fast enough. Like there, I had hit a plateau, and so he suggested that I, start doing vocal lessons and whatnot to clean out my pitch and control. Um, Now I've gone to vocal music lessons, and I've been doing vocal music lessons, although haven't been doing it lately, and there's a reason for that. Um, After our first, we did some cover song concerts, and it's all right, but I never really felt like I was doing it well enough. You can see some of them online, I think maybe. One of the things is the bassist didn't want us to like do the music. He didn't want us to uh, publish this stuff. He didn't want us to put it on YouTube, or at least me put it on YouTube or anything like that. In fact, he wanted me to get rid of my YouTube channels that I had, so that uh, I don't know. I guess he had said something like it's not good for you to be doing all this stuff when without asking the band. And I'm like, this is my own private stuff. Why can't I? Why is it that you guys get to decide for me? But there was some tension in there. And basically, since he was writing all the music, he's really strict about his music. He doesn't want his music belonging to someone else. I don't know, maybe before we met, maybe he had some bands that stole his music and didn't give him any credit for it or whatever. I don't know, but he's really strict about that. And I get it, it's his music. But then again, my song "Send in the Clowns," the he's still using it. He's still using it. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. We rewrote it and added the accompaniment is different from the original, but it's still kind of the same thing. And he said, "I'm going to keep using it. I'm just going to change the words." And yeah, he did. He redid the song in Japanese, so it's their accompaniment, and instead of English words, it's Japanese, and it's not even the same story. It's a completely different song. So yeah, I don't mind. But if I obviously if I tried to use the chord progressions and whatnot of the songs that he did, he'd probably have a fit with that. I'm sure he would. So I haven't. I've kind of like tried to actively forget those songs that we did after we broke up. It was basically like we had this vision that wasn't exactly the same. And I wanted to do these songs. I loved these songs and I wanted to get good at them and whatnot. But he was like, you know what? It's not really your style. We should do a party band type of thing, and go with songs like Go Fuck Yourself instead of this moody stuff. And I was like, I like it, but it's not really what I want to do. I wanted to be like Luna Sea, Ryuichi, and yeah, Luna Sea. Speaking of which, Luna Sea. This is their Never Sold Out album. In fact, the bassist, he's the one that helped me get this. I was looking for this. It's hard to find. At least it was for me. He found it pretty quick. They don't make this album anymore. The Never Sold Out, original Never Sold Out. They have a new one called Never Sold Out 2 or something like that. I wanted to be like that. I wanted that kind of a feel to my music and the way I'm singing. But of course, I'm not really like that. I'm very, energetic and making jokes and stuff. And the reason why I'm like that is because I've been a teacher for a long time. I've I've been this guy who's had to energetically teach kids and whatnot English, and I have that ingrained into me. But I don't want to be that way. I'm that way because that's the way I have to be a successful teacher. I wanted to change that. I wanted to have my original persona, my dark, moody, let's get this done, serious persona coming out. But I guess he didn't feel like I was capable of doing that. So he was like, well, let's just go with what you're good at, because changing you or getting you to learn how to be this other person that you want to be isn't going to work out. It's going to take us too long and it's just going to be too difficult and it's not going to work. So we should make a party band. And then, so I was like, okay. But he said, you got to make your own music. You got to write the music. I was like, okay. And I wrote some music and I used a program called Band in a Box to fill in the accompaniment. And I sent it to him and he's like, did you use a program, an app to make this? You didn't write this yourself? You didn't write it? I'm like, no, the melody is mine. I wrote the melody and and the chords are what we decided on. The only thing I did was just add a Band in a Box guitar and drums just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. I didn't use anything other than that. It's just, if you don't like it, we take it out and put something else in there. It's just to give you an idea. And he's like, no, it destroys the idea and it's not real. It's fake. It's AI created. And it's like, I don't use AI to create my music. That's ridiculous. No, it's my music. I wrote the melody and the chords are the chords. What instrument you put in there and how it's played doesn't really matter. But the melody and the chords are what really matters. But he felt like I was using AI to create it. And I was like, no, I'm not. And we had a huge argument about that. And I tried to explain to him, and he just didn't want to listen, I guess. I don't know. So I got fed up with it. I'm like, you know what? No matter what I do, it's just not good enough for you. And I'm tired of, trying to figure out what is going to be okay for you. I want to do something that's okay for me. So we decided to go ahead and break up. I'm like, yeah, I mean, who's at fault here? Neither one of us. Neither one of us. None of us are at fault. There's no blame here. In fact, we're still friends. We are still friends, and I still think he's an excellent musician, and I have no qualms with him whatsoever. The whole band. Uh, I miss meeting up with the guitarist though. He ended up in a windfall of money, and I guess he quit the band too because he no longer needed the band to feel important because he was he was now rich. So I guess in the stock market or something like that, he made a bunch of money. Great for him. I'm so happy for him. So happy for him. I wish the other guys could have that kind of luck too. Though I know that the bassist, he even if he came into a whole bunch of money, he would still be making music, and that makes me happy because he's a very talented musician, and his music is really, really interesting. I wish he would sell it or do something with it and put it out there. I think this is kind of how I feel he is. He's like he's got to make everything perfect, and his debut has got to be the perfect debut because he wants those songs. Those songs are his babies, and he wants them to be the thing that everybody wants. And in my experience, it's more like you do things and you fail and you fail and you fail until you become successful. You don't just become successful right off the bat. You do things until something clicks. And for like writing and whatnot, I have my own babies in writing that it's like I don't want to publish this yet because it's not quite right. But at some point you gotta just keep doing it. And if you're so stuck or so set on this one idea, and you don't feel like you can have another idea, that's a bad point to be. I think you just get your stuff out there, and the more you do, the better you will get. What people I think feel, or what happens is they feel like this is my magnum opus, and I need it to be the best, and so I have to make the situation the best for it. And in my estimation, it's just do stuff and get it out there until something hits. Because just because something is really awesome to you and you like it, doesn't mean everybody else is going to like it. And it doesn't mean it's going to be successful. Even if your idea is the best idea in the world. Which to yourself, it's the best idea in the world. But it's not up to you. So just keep doing it. So those are the two bands that I've been in. Now I'm kind of doing things on my own. I'm doing solo concerts where it's just me playing guitar, and I'm not very good at guitar, but I keep trying. This is what I use. This is my Ovation, and it's real simple stuff. I'm just doing covers, like doing what's that song? Anyways, that's my thing for music, making my own music. I play a piano song. I've got a new song that I wrote called um anyways, I got a piano song. It's on another channel. Maybe someday I'll talk about it more. And another couple songs that I've got in my head, but it's just time. I'm working. I'm doing this all by myself now, and I'm not very good at guitar, and I'm not very good at anything else. I'm taking drum lessons now, so that I can get better rhythm, and I've been practicing that more often now. How good am I at drums? I can now play the White Stripe songs. That's probably not saying much because they're pretty simple. They're pretty simple. Like fell in love with a girl. did it. It's pretty easy. Uh, just keeping in tune or keeping in tempo is the most difficult part. But yeah, that's my music. That's where I'm going with that. And I was really big when I was with that band, uh, Slopetown. I thought we were gonna be a real band. We were gonna really, hit the scene, and our music was gonna, go somewhere. And I wanted to promote it and put it out there and show people, but I can't. It's not my music, so I'm not allowed to like post it. I did post one song earlier, like a few weeks ago, a few earlier this last month. One song which is "Send in the Clowns." I posted that one, our version of that. But the other songs aren't really mine, so I can't post them. If I did, the bassist would probably be upset about that. And it's not your song, and I don't want people hearing this song and thinking of you. I want them to, it's not you. You may have been the front man of the band, but you were not the band. Is basically the way it was. So I get that. I get that. It's his music. So if I post it and it becomes popular as my song or a song that I did, that I sang, then it makes it difficult for him to take that and do something with it because it's no longer, it becomes my song instead of his song. I get it. That makes sense. That's perfectly understandable. I'd love to show that music, but I can't. And so I've tried to forget about it. I've tried to even forget the words, the everything, because I don't want it to be something that causes a rift between us, our friendship. Now, I'm looking for a band, but I'm not looking hard. I'm in the countryside of Japan, so there's not a lot of options for musicians here. If I go into the city, I can find all kinds of musicians that want to make music, but if we can't get together and practice because we live so far away, then it's not really an option. So that's my story about music in Japan. But if you want to hear some of the music that we've done, look for The Slow Claps. All 3 words. Just spell it out. The Slow Claps. Like claps. You'll find all kinds of our music, and I suggest that you listen to The Beer Song because it's great. I love The Beer Song. Obviously, it's the most fun song that we did. But there's some serious ones too that I like. Suyu is one of my favorites as well. Suyu and Sekiya. Sekiya. My favorite emotional song is Sekiya. Anyways, thanks for watching. And this has been fun. This has been fun. Thank you. Bye.